great skin.
Thanks. I got Old Spice body wash to thank for that.
He used to rely on me for
life. Friends that I've ever had. The realty is the only way you're going to find an actual, factual, real girlfriend, a friend that's a girl that you could trust for life, is if they hate men. They have to fundamentally not respect men to a core. They have to not see any value in them. And that's just because how society's set up. If you have a woman that's a friend that values men even slightly, she will choose a man over you. It's just tragic. Like, I'm not even blaming them. I might even do it. I have not even been tested. I know from what I've done in the previously that I'm a writer and I write for me and women, but it's like the best friends that I've ever had didn't respect men, and you need that.
Not only do I not want a man to be in agreement with me, like I never want a man to agree with anything that I say. What's even worse than that, I'm going to take it up a notch. What's even worse than that is a man referring to me as a real one. Oh, bitch. If a man referred to me as a real one, I've said something terribly fucking. And I'm taking it back. Never fuck. Because the only time they refer to you as a real one is when you did some dumb shit. When you done held a motherfucker jail for 20 years. When you didn't, let a man go have 3 babies on you and come back and still be with him. When you give a man all your money. When you let a man drive your car. When you do anything dumb, they referring to you as a real one, and you will not put such slander on my motherfucking name. I will not tolerate that shit.
In October 2023, and that's just in the city of Medellin alone. The number of thefts committed against these foreigners has also increased 200% in the third trimester of 2023. And I don't have a problem with people trying to find love. I do, however, have a problem with men traveling to poorer countries to take advantage of their women. And it seems that the Colombian government and gangs have a problem with this as well. Quoting the mayor of Medellin, anyone who thinks they can come here for and tourism, we don't want any of that here. What's not bragged about as much in the Passport Bro community is that many times these gangs are actually forcing underage girls to sign up for dating profiles to lure these guys in. So these Colombian men are really just Chris Hansening these guys, except with much more serious consequences. So to the Passport Bros traveling to other countries to have with children, or the ones that are just traveling to take advantage of these women, know that those actions are now coming with consequences. And realize that these women are human beings who want to be loved and taken care of and not just
life. I think this is hilarious, so much so that the government got to get involved. They draws and or they hand in marriage when they got a daddy, a uncle, a brother, and a cousin. Sir, now you've been finessed out your money and your life. I think this is hilarious, so much so that the government got to get involved, because 23 to 28 of you suckers was killed in the month of November alone. Hey, I think keep flying Passport Bros. Fly over there to another country, because guess what? Your family can't sue their family. Your family can't get justice for you, because what's going to happen? We still ain't got justice for Shanquella Robinson. We still haven't got justice for her. And them people were Americans. You really think you're going to do something with a Colombian? Honestly, this made me laugh. This is what y'all get. 25 of y'all was killed in Medellin, Colombia in 2023. And that was just in the month of November alone. This man, 59 years old. You could have lived another good few years. But no, you thought you was cute. You thought you was going to go over there and get you a young, submissive woman. You was talking to her uncle the whole time. That's what you get.
I don't understand how she can...
Told you. I love to see it. Told you.
Y'all think we're dunces, but to be honest, some of y'all, actually most of y'all arguing with me, be some of the worst dunces of all time. Remember when I was on my last page and I'm talking about, the passport bros. And I cut it short because they thought they could relentlessly siphon energy from me arguing in circles until the end of time eternally. Like,
You know who I never see engage in a long discourse about passport?
honest, some of y'all, actually most of y'all arguing with me, be some of the worst dunces of all time. Remember when I was on my last page and I'm talking about, the passport bros. And I cut it short because they thought they could relentlessly siphon energy from me arguing in circles until the end of time eternally. Like,
You know who I never see engage in a long discourse about?
All right, so the thing is this. This may be a long, drawn out video, but it's something that I had to remind myself of, and something that I had to program myself into realizing because it's actually happening. Now, with Islam, right, the whole feminism thing was taken care of already, okay? Um, According to the rules of the religion, a man's duty to a woman who is his wife is to feed her, to shelter her, to clothe her, and to educate her, right? And if she so sees the need, she is allowed to work as well. And she is allowed to keep the income from the job that she takes for her own upkeeping. Now, granted, if she wants to be nice and if she wants even a better, like a reward from God, and also most likely a reward from her husband, she's allowed to give that money to the husband, maybe allow him to hold a couple of bags, right? She's allowed to do that. So 1400 years ago, the feminism thing, the equal rights thing was already done, right? Even when it fell to the wayside, you had people who came to revigorate the woman's rights. These came in the form of, I guess you could say, renewers of the faith. And the renewer of the faith that I follow, who followed the Prophet alayhi salatu salam, Shehu Usuman Damfodio, Rahmatullah alayh, put a lot of emphasis on women's rights and put a lot of emphasis on women's education as well. The problem started was with the C word, colonialization. When that crept in, and when it just pretty much took over the what spread across the every corner of the earth, it brought new ideas that in turn, while they said that they were enlightening people, they actually set them backwards. Now, inner feminism. Feminism, at first, of course, we know it started off as a movement in order for women to get their fair share. That's what feminism was about, right? But then it morphed into second wave feminism when they thought that they should be entitled to like have every position that a man has. And then third wave feminism where they basically said that, you know, we're better than men, right? Now, unfortunately, we're in the fourth wave of feminism. And this fourth wave is going to be worse because it's going to include just an outright hatred of men. Okay? So, what this means for you is that you must be protected at all time. And what I mean by that is you must be spiritually protected. Otherwise, you will fall for the okie doke. What I'm about to say is going to sound very, very bad, but this is just the cold hearted truth. The woman may even find you attractive and she will still have hatred for you. And the reason why is for the reason that that first girl on the clip said. If, for example, a woman was to embrace her natural inclination of wanting to be with a man, of wanting companionship with a man, of wanting a family with a man, it would go against most of the women that are in the West, and it would also go against um probably her set of friends that she's with. Okay? Because here's even the thing. Even when you're looking at married couples, usually married couples kick it together for the most part that I notice, right? But the dynamic of non-married couples with or a non-married person with the married couple is like they're the third wheel, and they feel some type of way about that. I'm going to read something that really kind of like struck home, and this is from my former teacher, who has since mass uh, has since met his Lord, Rahmatullah alayhi, Allah Yarhamu, Allah Sarki. Okay? Um, so now, this is what he wrote. And I'm going to read it, and you guys can go ahead and if you want.
What's going on, everybody?
Some
information that I just want to give to you.
So you guys can go ahead and digest this if you want. You don't have to, but I'm going to read it because now, mind you, he himself, okay, right? He himself was not married in the United States, and he had no desire in getting married in the United States. His name was Sheikh Salih bin Sadina, Rahmatullah alayh. He was a high level alim of what we call Mauritania in West Africa. And all his concern was about the deen. Okay? Uh uh Basically transferring it to everybody who needed it. Okay? And he didn't really get along with a lot of people due to his viewpoints, you know? Okay. Just give me a second. I'm looking for the post. As I said, this is going to be a long video. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. And they were telling me this. And I was just like shocked. But I was listening to a video, right? I was listening to a video with another content maker, and he said that women are going on Twitter, women are going on TikTok, women are going on all these social media platforms. It's just voicing their hatred for men, right? And they're not even getting blocked or banned or anything or shadow banned for it. So this is a bigger operation at hand, meaning that if you're not maybe identifying with um, that rainbow community, because they really leave them alone. They don't. As a matter of fact, they treat them better than they do uh, regular men. But if you're not part of that community, then then yeah, it's open season on you, meaning that it's open season on me. Okay, so Sheikh Salik Sadina, and it goes back to the point of that Rahmatullah alayh. It goes back to the point of that girl who was speaking first, who said the only time you're gonna have a real girlfriend is if that girlfriend hates men. Now, let's go ahead and read what Sheikh Salik said. The mixing of practiced married women with unmarried women, one of the strongest causes of divorce. The mixing of married practicing women with women who are not married, as well as their mixing with women who attempt to emasculate their husbands, as is the case with most young women today, unfortunately. And I'm reading the translated one because his Arabic is very, very strong. His English is like not as strong, but I'm reading the translated version of what he said. Um, who emasculate their husbands, as is the case with most young women today, unfortunately, are among the strongest causes of divorce and separations of family. This is because, as the Prophet said in the sound hadith, peace and blessings upon him and his family, a person is upon the religion of his companion. So each of you should look at he who chooses as a companion. So me, like, I choose my books as my companions for the most part, because I hate to say it, but like Muslim men, uh, you know, for the most part, is in the West is kind of a bad deal. It's gotten to the point where like even Muslim men will not give me the salams anymore. They'll be like, "What's up, man?" It's gotten to that point, and although I'm giving them the salam, saying "Assalamu alaikum," they still don't give me the salams. Okay, and I think that reason being is they think that I'm too traditional and that I'm too rigid. Little do they know that I don't adhere to any rigid way of Islam. I adhere to the way of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jamaat, which was passed down to me generations from my father, from his father, from his father's father, his father's father, his father's father. Uh, the teachers that we've had, you know, my teachers from Sudan, my teachers from Mauritania, my teachers from Nigeria, you know, none of them had a rigid form of Islam. But yet, even me, you know, it tunes a lot of them off. So, like, my companions have been my books. You know, I have the Medicine of the Prophet, alayhi salatu salam. Um, let me see what else. I'm just showing some books. You know, my notepad to formulate ideas and thoughts. You know, uh, let me see what else. Um, let me see what I got just lying here. The history of my tribe, you know what I mean, and the different branches of my tribe. And that's just a couple of the books. But those are my companions. But uh he said that a person, and this is the prophet's words, a person is upon the religion of his companion. So each of you should look at who he chooses as a companion. So when you look at it and you look at Muslim women, a lot of time these Muslim women are choosing non-Muslim women as their companions, and guess what? It just spills right in, you know. Now, as for the whites mixing with women who are not married, it is especially damaging if those women have reached their 30s and 40s, even if they are upright, because such women do not understand marital relations with men and have resort to naive perspectives of freedom and independence. This in turn badly affects the views of the married woman, such that, for example, every time her husband seeks obedience from her, she believes she has been oppressed, causing either problems between the spouses or two, the man to remain as a donkey that is written, which is the state of most men now, especially in the West. Now, I want to tell you something. This is a scholar talking. This is not no red pill guy. This is not no uh uh MCTOW guy. This is not no black pill guy. This is not no passport guy. This is an actual scholar saying these things, okay? You must understand that, okay? A very highly esteemed scholar. He said donkey, okay? He said donkey. Well, let's continue. Even worse than that is a good woman's mixing with women who imitate men. He's dropping truth bombs, bro. Truth bombs. Let's continue. Even worse than that is a good woman's mixing with women who imitate men and emasculate their husbands. Mixing with these type of women is like deadly poison, which drives the woman to go outside the bonds of her nature, femininity. As a result, the family is left to live in fire, especially if the man has any trace of masculinity left. Because of this corrupted way, Muslim youth now prefer and are content with fornication. We seek refuge from Allah from such a loss of failure in marriage. This great trial comes from pursuing Western ideas. As you know, I don't pursue Western ideas. The only thing that I look at from the West is something that is needed is technology, and that is about it. It's technology. That's it. That'll bring Africa forward. It's technology. Okay. This great trial comes from pursuing Western ideas, the primary goal of which is to encourage women to be more like men and men more like women, i.e., the removal of all gender roles. This ultimately is an attempt to change nature, Allah's creation, and nothing rooted in changing Allah's creation can be correct or sound. In sum, generally mixing with most people today and having a good opinion about them is clear ignorance. So he basically told me I have many nicknames. One of my nicknames is Barkindo. Only, yeah, like some people know me as Barkindo. Some people know me as Bondinga. Some people know me as Bajo. Okay? He basically said, Bondinga, stay in your room and be with your books and your computer. Although there's that hadith that if you're alone, then Shaitan is with you. He's like, just occupy yourself. So he even said, in sum, generally mixing with most people today and having a good opinion about them is clear ignorance and like a fatal cancer for the religion. And the solution is not through putting pressure on the wise until they are driven crazy. Given that she lives with Western fantasy type ideas, such pressure will only trigger only reactions of craziness. The solution is learning the religious sciences such that both spouses know their rights and responsibilities. Not even an office administration can function without this knowledge. So, how can a long enduring marriage function without it? Marriage is a great responsibility and trust from Allah, given what it entails of nurturing and developing good character, right? And setting the example for children, neighbors, and visitors. Um, um, the problem ultimately is that Muslims are now trying to imitate Western families in every aspect, including child rearing and striving to live in known capitals of Western society, such as Washington, D.C. or Paris. This is the goal. People dream of simply visiting these places and return with what they have to offer a fake fantasies of filth, then spreading it throughout Muslim nations. As a result, if you now live in the Gulf or Saudi, it is as if you live in America or the UK, and if you live in Western Muslim lands like Morocco, it is as if you live in France. As far as people's thoughts, behavior, and even designs of city. In this way, the Islamic countries are left separated, sacrificed between what is called the Western nations, confirming the Hadith. The nations will call each other to you, like people are called to a plate of food. They asked, O Messenger of Allah, alayhi salatu salam, will you be small in number that day? He, alayhi salatu salam, said, no, you will be like the foam of the ocean, meaning no substance. This is truly the circumstance of today without a doubt. I have messages written on this matter, some translated and some awaiting translation. I am extremely sad about the state of Muslims and the Muslim nations now lives in destructive fantasies. Now, before he passed, he told me, get out of here. Okay? He told me that. He told me even come to Mauritania. You'll be close to your family. You can still study more. Nouakchott is a good city. Go there. Urging me to. Because it is gotten to a point, and unfortunately, well, it didn't really bother me, but Somali, there were three group of women. Uh, there were three. There was a African American revert. There was a Somali, and then there was, I think, a Pakistani, and they didn't think I heard what they said, but I actually heard what they said. Um, because it was at this one seminar, and I was just basically, I was asked to, I didn't want to do it. I was just asked to teach from one of the basic fiqh books that we have. It's called Kitab al-Aqdari. It has the basis. Um, I read this. I read this part. I read this part basically, and this sent them over the edge. This sent them over the edge. uh um basically let me find it. Hold on. Okay, here it goes. When I read this part, um, why I read this part, it really kind of like sent them over the edge. It says, Al Kitab. It says Al. Let me see here. Uh, I think it says Al Kadibu wa Giabatu wa Man Nami. Yeah, Namima wa wa Kibru wa Ujub wa Riyah wa Suma'a wa Hasad wa Bugdu wa Ruru ya Fatni ala Gairi wa Amzu um basically Bamzu wa Gabathu Sukri It basically says it's unlawful to lie, to slander, carry tales, be arrogant, be proud, show off for the sake of appearance and reputation, to envy, to hate, to see oneself better than others, to find fault, to backbite, or to ridicule. When I read that part alone, it actually made them say, it actually made them say, actually, um, I hope to God that he never gets married. He doesn't deserve a wife. That's what they said. They said he doesn't deserve a wife. And so, you know, I'm gonna recommend something, okay? And this is a little unorthodox, and I'm gonna end the video like this because we are in fourth wave feminism, okay? I will never ever on this channel, right? I will never ever on this channel uh encourage physical altercations with women, okay? Nor will I encourage verbal altercations with women. So what I recommend you do is get you a set of these. And although you may look dumb, and although it may look crazy in public, you walking around doing your little inclination, you know what I mean? Doing this, it may look dumb. It's like a force field, okay? It becomes a force field over you. All right? It becomes a force field. You become fortified. If you guys want me to do a video about adkars, about the names of Allah that you can say for those kind of protect for that force field, I'll be happy to do so. Okay? There's a lot of them. There's a lot. Okay? But with that being said, I made this video to say be prepared for what is to come. Okay? Or actually, I should say be prepared for what is already here. Fuller signing out. Sai Ajima.